Hi, Sarah. I hope you are doing well, and I hope your week is off to a wonderful start. I first off wanted to say I'm so glad that I had a chance to meet all of you ladies this past weekend. It was really awesome getting to know you guys and playing in a little bit of makeup. So I'm going to just share a quick little recap here of everything that we used on your face and what the colors are that you see in this palette. So once your makeup comes in, we can take some time, if you'd like to set up a Zoom call and walk through everything in your palette, how to set it up and how to apply. And we'll just do our makeup together. But if that's something you want to do, we can definitely do it. If not, then no worries. You're more than welcome to kind of dive into everything on your own as well. So this is the link and the site that is going to pull up once you tap on the palette link in your email that I sent over. This is a size 12 palette, which is what I always recommend any of my newer ladies to start off with, just because it's not too big, it's not too small. A size 12 means that it fits 12 tins or 24 eyeshadows or a combination of those. And there are also some designs that you can choose from. When you scroll down right here, you'll see that you can change up the designs if you'd like. But there are 2 layers to this palette, so you have everything that you need for your entire face, and you do not have to fill it up completely. So if there's a little bit of extra room in your palette, then that just leaves you some room to grow. So you can feel free to add more colors if you see something that you really like and you want to add that shade as well. Or if you want to leave it open so that you can add some later on down the road, that's perfectly fine too. I do have the swatches of all of the shades included at the bottom of your email, so if you want to take a look and see some of the other colors, those are included in your email as well. So let's get started and just walk through your colors really quick. So your first 3 shades that we'll go over are your 3D foundation colors. That's going to be your contour, which is cedar. It's that cooler tone that creates the shadows and dimensions on your face. Hazel, which is your main highlight color, and this is essentially your foundation color that matches your skin tone. And last but not least is Sunlit, which is your brightening highlight. So that's going to just add a little bit of brightness to your face and create that all-around 3-dimensional look. The next color is Mango. That was the shade that we used to color correct under your eyes. We just used a tiny bit underneath your eyes, and that cancels out any of those like purplish bluish tones that you might see. So again, we'll walk through how to use this whenever your makeup comes in, but it's super easy and will take no time at all. So this color will definitely last you for a long time because you're only going to use a tiny little bit at a time. The next 2 shades are going to be lip and cheek colors, and those are shades that you can use on your cheeks as a blush or on your lips as a lipstick or lip gloss. The first color is Hollywood, which is the shade that we used at Sloan's house, and it was absolutely gorgeous on your cheeks. This is more of a satin finish. I did add 1 additional color, which is Desert Sunset. It is one of my absolute favorite shades and is definitely a fan favorite, but this shade is going to be more of a gloss. So I wanted to give you a gloss option in case you would like something like that for your lips. I know some people prefer matte lipsticks, but in case you did want something a little glossy, you could wear this on your lips. I think it is beautiful on your cheeks as well, regardless of what season you're in. It complements pretty much anything that you're wearing. So that is an option. If you choose not to get this color, that's perfectly fine. Just tap on the shade and you can press remove item and you're good to go. On the second layer, I included the Bella Bronzer, which was different than your contour in that it's a warmer tone versus the cooler tone. So it just gives you that little bit of warmth on your skin like you've been out in the sun. And next up, you have your Angel Illuminator, which is like a highlighter in the makeup world that you'll tap on the tops of your cheeks and give you that really pretty luminous glow. Or I guess you could say like a lit from within type of glow. It is probably one of my favorite things that I use from Saint, and I love that we used this color on you the other day. I thought it was like the perfect little subtle feminine touch to your makeup. So one thing that we did not try was eyeshadows, and eyeshadows are probably one of my absolute favorite things. So while we only had time to do our 3D foundation, I wish we had had time to do our eyeshadows, because it is the one thing that I get very passionate about. So I've tried a lot of different eyeshadows, and I will say that Saints are absolutely incredible, just because they have a really beautiful velvety smooth consistency and texture. They are powders, not creams, and they are very pigmented. Along with that, they don't have a lot of fallout, so you won't notice that you have a lot like fall onto your tops of your cheeks after you've like put on your eyeshadows. But I do love them. They are absolutely incredible. I actually have stopped using my Urban Decay and Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes because I do love these shadows so much. All of that to say, I did want to give you a couple of options that you could use for a really neutral daytime look, but something that gave you a couple of matte options and a couple of shimmers. And the shimmers are going to be colors that are not like a glittery shimmer. They do have that really beautiful sheen to them, but it's not like a chunky glitter. It's a nice like soft sheen on your eyes, and I just think they are absolutely gorgeous. So the first shade that I chose is Bubba. This is one of my favorite neutral tones. It's not too dark, not too light, and is a wonderful color to use in the crease of your eyes, and just swatch it on your on the crease of your eyes with an eyeshadow brush. The second color is Claire. This is a really beautiful dusty rose shade, and I like to tell people that this is my favorite neutral tone that's not a brown. So I love pairing it with Bubba or using it alone, and I think it just brings a little extra something to your eyeshadow look without saying like, oh my gosh, you have on pink eyeshadow, right? So again, it's more of a neutral tone, beautiful shade, just a little bit of that feminine touch I think is gorgeous. The next shade is going to be You Complete Me. It is more of a shimmer, but something that you can tap lightly onto your lids just to give them a little extra pop if you want to. Or maybe you want to use it on a date night. You never know. And then last but not least is Sis. This is also a shimmer, and it is a very, very soft pink that is very subtle when you apply it to your eyes. And I personally think it is stunning. But check out the eyeshadow swatches at the bottom of the email and see if those are some colors that you might want to try together. I wear these shades all the time, multiple times throughout the week for sure, but I thought they would look beautiful with your skin tone and your eye color, so I wanted to throw those in there. If you scroll down on the website, you'll notice that you can pull these little drop down boxes here, and you'll see like your highlight colors like Sunlit and Mango, Hazel. So those are the shades, your 3D colors, which would be your first three shades that I talked about. Those are the only colors that you don't want to change or alter. Apart from that, your lip and cheek shades, you can toggle back and forth between gloss, satin, or semi-gloss, depending on your personal preference. And all of these can be used on your cheeks. All of these can be used on your lips. And if you see any of these that you are drawn or you're drawn to, then feel more than free to go ahead and add those to your palette. Again, whatever your personal preference is, I want you to love your palette just as much as I love mine. If you decide that you want to get a larger palette, you can always move up to the size 18, and that will just give you additional room to grow. But again, the size 12 is a wonderful starter size. There are eyeshadows that you can kind of check out here. So feel free to take a look at those. And again, you can toggle back and forth between shimmers, mattes, glitters, and creams. The glitters that are listed here are more of like a thicker glitter, so not as smooth as the shimmers. These are things that I would probably use like a eye primer with. So I would say stick with the shimmers and the mattes if you do want to choose any different eyeshadow colors. So other than that, you are all set. If you'd like a brow wax or a lip conditioner, those are great things to add to your palette. I personally love the lip conditioner. I have the peppermint and I put it on my lips before I apply any of my lip shades that I have, just because it's so wonderful and gives my poor dry lips a little bit of hydration that I desperately need. And now, once you've added your items to your bag, the only other thing that you'll want to grab is a brush. So when you press the menu button at the top left-hand corner, you're going to go to brushes and tools. And I personally recommend starting with something like the blush and bronzer brush. They're double-ended, so you essentially get 2 for the price of 1. And these are specifically formatted to work with the creams from Saint. So they're going to help blend your makeup really well. But the blush and bronzer brush is definitely my favorite. If you wanted to go with 2 brushes, I would go with the blush and bronzer brush along with a detail brush. Those two are like a match made in heaven, especially for applying contour and blending your makeup. If you need an eyeshadow brush, Saint's eyeshadow brush is like my one-stop shop for eyeshadow brushes. I use it every single day, during the weekends, during the week. So regardless of if I'm doing something quick and easy or if I want something for an event, so something more formal, I still use the same eyeshadow brush, and it is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I can't recommend it enough. If you do have any questions about the other brushes, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you do have. So I honestly just like to give you my couple of recommendations so that you don't feel overwhelmed by all of the other choices. But again, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. The only other thing that I think that we looked at was the brush cleaner. So this is where you would find the brush cleaner from Saint, where you don't have to use the water to clean your brushes. You basically just spritz it on a towel or paper towel, swirl your brush in, and then you're good to go 30 seconds later. No dry time or any of that nonsense. And it smells amazing. Plus it cleans and sanitizes and conditions your brush. So you get a lot going for you there. But that is pretty much it. Oh, actually, one thing, if you scroll up at the top and you see collections, if you want to save around, I think it's around like $10, you can always grab the bronzer collection. So if you tap on the bronzer collection, that's going to include that blush and bronzer brush and the bronzer. So you would just want to switch it to Bella Bronzer, which is the one in your palette. And that'll save you a little extra money. So I always like to let my ladies know that, because if there's one way that I can help you save money, I'm all for it. If you do add the bronzer collection to your palette, the only thing that I would say is whenever you press the back button to go back to your palette, just make sure to remove this Bella bronzer so that you don't end up with 2 in your palette. But that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm very excited for you to get your palette in, and I cannot wait for you to try out the makeup for yourself and get really comfortable with applying it. But if you have any questions in the meantime, just let me know, and I hope you have a wonderful week.